Hey there everybody, Aaron here. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Today, we have a knife that is not tactical. You know, a lot of people throw that name around, that word around, if you will, tactical. You know, and most people, when they hear that word, they think something either, you know, like scary SWAT, you know, with SWAT guys or military guys with their guns all tacked out and molly gear and helmets and, you know, tactical blades and, you know, tactical gear and all those things. You know, and that's what people think of. A lot of people think of that when they hear Gideon's Tactical, the channel. That's not what I thought of when I picked the name for this channel, you know, almost 3 years ago now. When you look up in the dictionary the word tactical, it's carefully planned actions that are going to give you a specific result. Now, it usually refers to military use, but not always. And that is what the word, when you look it up, tactical, that's what it means. And I picked Gideon's Tactical for that reason. I love the guy Gideon in the Bible. He has a great story, a nobody that no one knew that God used to do great things and save the children of Israel. So that's a really cool story that I like. And I like that idea of having some very carefully planned out actions that are going to give a specific result. My actions, doing these reviews for you, putting these blades through the test, putting the gear through the test that we do here. And then the result is that you guys can make a good purchasing decision. So with that little kind of description here, and you know what we're looking at here today, we're looking at the Opinel number 8. And this is definitely not a tactical in today's sense when people usually hear that word and have it thrown around knife. This is, and if I could coin a word or a phrase, a farmer knife. You know, maybe I don't know, old school EDC. That's what we're looking at here, original EDC. Way before the days of Spyderco Delica 4s and, you know, Benchmade Griptilians was this Opinel and knives like this Opinel. And this is a very, very basic blade. We're talking about simple high carbon steel, a collar locking mechanism, and a hardwood handle. I mean, that is it. Made in France. You know, when I see this knife, I literally do think of like a little French farmer, you know, and this is the blade he's carrying on him to do all his little tasks around his farm, or a French cafe owner who's, you know, cutting open his apples with it and, opening the crates and packages that he needs to do, you know, in a sleepy little French town in the early 1900s or late 1800s. That's what comes to mind when I see this blade. So today, I'm not going to do the whole litany of, you know, ergonomic ratings and quality and value. We'll talk about those things, but I have never reviewed a knife even close to this here at the channel. You know, we have been reviewing those more modern blades, and my goal today is to just show you what Opinel is producing with this number 8, what this blade can do, and whether or not it's, you know, a good knife, a good throwback EDC, if you will, in this modern world with these modern blades. So guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and start checking out the Opinel number 8 and see what this blade has to offer you. All right guys, let's look at some of the basic specs here on the number 8. The first thing is the weight. It's very lightweight and EDCable at a weight of 1.6 ounces according to my scales, which is awesome. Great, really lightweight. You're not going to feel it in your pocket whatsoever. Now, this is the high carbon steel version. You can also get them in stainless steel as well. So the high carbon steel has a blade thickness of 0.06, so very nice and thin. Going to make it an awesome slicer with that full flat grind. Very nice. The blade length itself from the handle to the tip is 3.25 inches, so 3¼ inches. The handle length from the handle front to back is going to be 4.4 inches. And the wood handle is a hardwood. I can't really figure out. I did some research. Some said birchwood or beechwood, so that's probably what it is. But you know, it's a wood handle, stainless steel collar for the locking mechanism that we'll look at here in just a moment. And it's going to cost you $13 on Amazon, free shipping through Amazon Prime. So guys, those are just a few of the basic specs made in France for this Opinel number 8.
Oh, it's just so ridiculous. All right.
Ridiculous.
All right, guys, just want to kind of talk you through the ergonomics here, and I got to tell you, again, I was not expecting a lot. This is not really my style of blade, but I love this knife, and for a lot of different reasons: price point, the quality that you're getting, and just it's fun. It reminds you of, you know, times gone by, and the handle is no exception to that. It is an extremely comfortable, extremely ergonomic handle. I wear large size gloves, so you can see there I got plenty of room to spare. I can basically get my whole hand onto the wood portion and not even touch the steel collar there that acts as the locking mechanism. Now I can choke up a little bit and, you know, grab it right there, and we're good to go. But very, very good with that nice palm swell. It's about 0.7 inches thick at the widest point, and then it, you know, narrows down. Got that little flare out there. So I mean, any type of grip that you're holding it in, even bushcraft style tasks. I mean, this is literally like a little bushcraft folder. You can do a lot of stuff that you would put like your Mora heavy duty companion, you know, your Mora basic 511 through. You know, this could basically, because of how well they've just done the ergonomics, it feels very comfortable for extended periods of use. Now, there is zero traction on this knife. I do want to say that again. This is not a tactical blade or modern EDC knife. You know, it's not like what am I rocking right here? I mean, there's no comparison with the traction on this number 8 and like a Cold Steel Mini Recon here. So, you know, it's not very, you know, high traction. Now you can do lots of stuff with it because it's, you know, a wood handle. You could kind of cut your own grooves in there if you wanted to put a little extra traction, do all sorts of different things. The other thing to note is that there's no lanyard hole. I would have really liked to see a little lanyard hole. I'm doing some more research. There are some more higher end models that will cost you like closer to 20 bucks that do offer a lanyard hole, but looking at how the handle's set up, I think you can drill your own hole and make a lanyard hole, put a little leather lanyard through there. Makes it a little easier to pull out of your pocket than trying to, you know, dig in there. You know, you could just kind of hang the lanyard out of your pocket, and then when you're ready to use the knife, you just grab that lanyard and jerk it out. You know, that would be a nice little feature if just all of them came stock like that. Some do come, again, with a lanyard hole. You just kind of have to go research it. BLADEHQ has a lot of different models, as well as, again, Amazon, where I purchased this one. So that's something to note as well. It's not necessarily the easiest to find in your pocket and deploy. It's very slick, so it will have a tendency, depending on your pants, fall out of your pocket. That's another thing to think about. But for handle ergonomics, going back to the ergonomics, very nice, very comfortable, very warm to the touch, and a lot of fun to hold and use for your basic EDC tasks. All right, guys, just wanted to show you the opening mechanism and how to deploy the blade, as well as the locking mechanism here on this knife. So the first thing is you got that nail nick, very similar to like a Buck 110. Not a stiff, but not necessarily, you know, a fast deployment. It's definitely going to be a two-handed deployment from what I can tell. I'm sure somebody out there has done little, you know, some little tweaks and they can flick it open. That's great. I cannot. So, you know, this is a two-handed deployment. Nothing, again, tactical or, you know, super modern about it. Very simple design. And then you have stainless steel parts down here, and this collar rotates either to the right or to the left, and then that blocks the blade and it will not collapse on you, and it's very strong for what this blade is intended to do. You know, if you're going to try and stab this into a bunch of hardwood a ton of times, maybe it, you know, may start to loosen up and wiggle a little bit. But from all my EDC tasks, there's just a very slight up-down blade play, like, you know, less than a millimeter, and there's none side to side, zero side to side, and just very, very minimal play. And again, you can just rotate it right to left. You just decide which one, and then you just line it up so that you can then, again, close the blade. And there's a little safety feature as well, which is cool, that will block the blade if you so desire. It's got this little notch right here, and now I cannot open the knife. It will only go that far, just barely showing the tip right there. So it'll kind of help if you're carrying it in your pocket, you know, and you don't want to stick your hand in there and accidentally, you know, have opened a little bit. It does have that little safety mechanism. So for the price point and what style of knife this is, very impressive little locking mechanism, and a little unique compared to liner locks and lockbacks. So very cool little locking mechanism on this number 8. Okay, guys, I just want to talk quality here for you and just kind of show you what you're getting when it comes more to the fit and finish of the knife. Now, you got to remember, you paid $13 on Amazon for this knife, which is ridiculous, mind-boggling, very similar to Mora's. You know, it's just kind of like, how are you able to do that? It kind of boggles the mind. But anyway, is that overall, the fit and finish is great. You know, the handle and everything that they've done, how the locking mechanism, very smooth, no problems. The blade came razor sharp out of the box, and the 1090, or excuse me, not the 1095, but the high carbon steel, whatever type of high carbon steel they're using, holds a good edge and is so easy to reprofile, to resharpen, to do whatever you want with. The one thing here is that you can see that the tip of the blade has kind of floated over to the side, and that's how it came to me. So it's definitely, you know, running up against one side about, it starts right about here, where my finger is, and then, you know, kind of drifts over. Now, I don't know if that's the blade slightly bending. It doesn't look like it. The blade looks nice and straight. Or if the handle notch, the blade notch that it sits in, you know, just wasn't cut out perfectly. It's not a huge deal to me at all. It doesn't bother me. It's not, you know, wanting to crawl out or, you know, have a hard time catching when I close it. I mean, it sits perfectly in there. But that is something that I just wanted to note to you, is that you may have slight drift in the blade when it comes to seating in there. It will seat in the notch that they've laid out for the blade, but just something to think about there. But for the value of $13, I mean, totally able to overlook it for everything else that you're getting with the stainless steel, the blade, and the handle. Great stuff, and overall great quality for the price point. Well, everyone, it's time for us to bring this fantastic little video and this fantastic little knife review to a close. I love this blade. It's so much fun to use. There's just something so, I don't know, time travel about it. It really takes you back to a simpler time when you're rocking an Opinel No. 8 or any of the other Opinel products that they produce, particularly in their old classic line with the hardwood handles. I mean, there's just something special about it, something that really connects with a simpler time, because it's a simpler blade, guys. So I would recommend it to anybody with the price point, the quality, everything that we've seen throughout this video. Buy a few of them, give them as gifts. They're great for stuffing stalkers, throw in there for birthdays, just to bless somebody with. If you just want to, you know, give them a simple knife that's going to really do, I think, some great work for them, and take them and really time travel them back to a simpler time. You know, you bust this out, you sit on your back porch and you carve on a piece of wood, you know, you open up an apple and start cutting on it. I mean, it just takes you away from all the busyness and all the craziness that is our modern world and takes you to those simpler times. So I love this Opinel No. 8, and I would recommend it to anybody who's considering this knife. For the price of a movie ticket nowadays, you're going to get a time traveling piece. This is your little time traveling ticket to a time that is not as crazy in a simpler time. So guys, I really hope that this review has helped you out with your purchasing decisions. As always, check us out on all the relevant social media. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. And as always, remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.